Hey guys, Adam here, and I've had some time to really do a lot of research for Week 10, just between family and work and like my real job and all those things. Normally, don't have time to do this much analysis, but I've had the luxury of doing that this week and have some really interesting insights that I don't think many people, or in some cases, I haven't heard a single person talk about some of these folks. And so I'm going to give you at least some of these. I don't know if you want to call them micro edges or things like that that might help you. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do stuff with this information, but having it, I think, is helpful in really thinking about the slate, which is probably the most interesting one I've seen since the 2021 NFL season began. So I'm going to start with some real interesting information, which is that Taylor Decker, who you don't know, is coming off the IR, and he's one of the key offensive linemen for the Detroit Lions. And that puts Penei Sewell in a good spot. He puts him back at right tackle, I think, because I think this guy plays left tackle. And it really bolsters the Lions offense, which seems really awkward or weird. But Jared Goff's coming in at incredibly low ownership, as he should. But this is an opportunity to really take advantage of a piece of news that not anyone's going to be on. And obviously, with the news of Jamal Williams being out, it also helps DeAndre Swift because I think it helps in the run blocking, as well as some of the pass catchers. And TJ Hawkinson, by the way, Darren Fells is out for the Detroit Lions. He's gone. He's not in Detroit anymore. And Hawkinson, not that that's any big news, but Hawkinson's got 9 targets, I think, average the last 3 weeks. So something like that. So Detroit is looking very interesting. I'm probably going to end up playing some Jared Goff, probably about 10%, just to get way over the field. And obviously, the likelihood of him going off is not much, but when he goes off, no one's going to be on him. Another interesting one is Mercedes Lewis is the only viable Packers tight end. He actually did well. I think he played in Detroit. I might be mistaken. The other tight end, I can't remember his name now, is very questionable. And so he may end up playing 90% of the snaps this week. And the only week he's been on there since Tanya went down, I think that was last week with Jordan Love. So I think he could easily catch a touchdown and get you like 10 to 12 points at 2,500. A very interesting punt tight end. I'm looking for punts, honestly, that are not running backs, just because I think people are going to be punting running back for the obvious reasons. We got news on Damian Harris. We don't have news on Rondamore Stevenson. Brandon Bolden looks very interesting. I think he's at 4,400. I put Deontay Harris, Saints wide receiver 1. It seems that way given the past several weeks. And from a consistency standpoint, he seems to be the wide receiver 1. No one's talking about him. Tyler Kroft's out for the Jets, and that means Ryan Griffin is going to be the leading tight end. Again, do I want to play Ryan Griffin? I don't know, but him and Mercedes Lewis are both 2,500. Some interesting punt tight ends, literally no one's talking about. I put James Washington on here. He's going to be more of a play now that Claypool's out. Go look at the week he played without Claypool. I think it was like week 4, and see how he did. And I think Juju was in that game also. Don't think Juju was hurt at that time either. So look up James Washington to see if he's actually viable as a punt play. I think you're going to find that he is, actually. So Alex Collins, remember Carson's out. Alex Collins is in. Alex Collins doesn't catch targets. Just keep that in mind. I wrote that news down. I put overweight Mike Evans this was when I wasn't sure if Godwin was in. Overweight Mike Evans if Godwin's in, and match the field if he's out. It's just a leverage play, I think. I think the Godwin's injury is more serious than I think people want to believe or maybe be led on to imagine. And I think Brady is just going to pepper Evans with targets because of that. There's no one who can really stop either of them. So I just think Evans is a much better play with ownership going to Godwin. So I'll be playing some Mike Evans. I put on here, yuck, am I really going to play A.J. Brown because he's so expensive? But New Orleans is the number 1 ranked rush defense in terms of yards allowed. And they're like bottom 3rd pass D. Again, when I look at these stats, I don't look at anything fancy. I just say, give me the total rush yards allowed and total pass yards allowed. And I keep it simple. I don't have time to get into any next gen stats and things like that. I did look at rushing yards on the Minnesota and Chargers game, and Chargers are dead last, allowing the most rushing yards, and Minnesota's 3rd to last. And it's like smash Dalvin Cook and Austin Eckler. It honestly was to get me off the passing game, except for there's so many contrarian plays in the passing game. Mike Williams, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. These guys I mean, if these guys were getting heavily owned, it would just be or just play all the running backs that don't even play the quarterbacks. I'm probably going to end up playing 10% to 12% Kirk Cousins and probably match the field on Herbert, which I think is coming around 10% also. What it's going to do is it's going to make me probably match the field on Keenan Allen and then get way over the field 2 to 3x on Williams, Jefferson, and Thielen. Once again, I wasn't still excited about it, but I just can't pass up that opportunity. I put on here Scotty Miller might be coming back from IR. That's very important because it might eat into Tyler Johnson. If Godwin was out, he's going to probably be more mega chalked, and now he probably won't be, but he'll still be somewhat owned. But if Scotty Miller's coming back from IR, I may just fade Tyler Johnson altogether and just play Scotty Miller and see what happens. Brashad Perryman also is playing for the Bucks. I have no idea how that third wide receiver slot snap count is going to look like. Very interesting. Eric Ebron's back this week. I know Pat Freiermuth has a lot of publicity. He doesn't get as much ownership as I expected him to get, so I may still play him. But with Ebron back, there's an opportunity. He doesn't like Roethlisberger might throw a touchdown to a tight end. And there is a maybe 33% chance that tight end might be Ebron this week because he's back. Just keep that in mind. Xavier Rhodes is out for the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to play Trevor Lawrence. I don't know how much, but I'm going to be playing him just because he's so low owned. With Rhodes out, I'm not saying Rhodes is necessarily a really good cornerback, but he's obviously better than their second string quarterback, or he wouldn't be the first string cornerback. So it just makes me want to play Trevor Lawrence in what could easily be a shootout. One thing I think people don't realize is Jair Alexander is still on IR for the Green Bay Packers. They seem to be a decent pass defense still, but it's Russell Wilson. Like I think he can pick them apart. If Jair Alexander was playing in this game, I'd be a little hesitant to play Lockett and Metcalf, but I'm not going to be. I'm going to be playing them. In fact, what I'll end with is a very detailed breakdown of Seattle and Green Bay, which I think you've got weird news with Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. Otherwise, this game total could easily be 55 or 56. And it would be the chalkiest matchup of the entire slate by far. It would even probably be chalkier than Dallas, Atlanta. And because it's not very high owned, I'm going to be playing. This is the game I'm going to be stacking. I can't get away from this game. It's like a cumulative 5 to 6% ownership on the quarterbacks. Lockett and Metcalf are like 10%. If this was like super chalky, they'd be 20%. I'll probably be playing them 30%. Devontae is chalky. I'll either match the field or maybe go over. I may play 30 to 40% of Devontae. We'll see how that pans out. I'll play Aaron Jones and stuff like that. But I'm going to be playing this game. I'm going to be playing both these quarterbacks significant amount. It's just where I'm going to end up. This is very interesting because not only is Russell Wilson back, but D. Eskridge is back too. It seemed like he was going to split snaps with Freddie Swain in week 1 when he got hurt and went down, and that was it. Freddie Swain is 3K. If Eskridge wasn't back, I'd be playing a lot of Freddie Swain, which seems really awkward. Literally, no one's mentioned his name. I'll probably end up playing him some just because I'm going to be playing so much Russ. But I might throw in some Eskridge as well. Again, I'm doing double stacks. You can get to Lockett and Metcalf in this. With so much value. But just to be a little bit different, you can get to like a Metcalf, Freddie Swain with Wilson, or you could even get to like a Metcalf, D. Eskridge. Obviously, you could put Tyler Lockett in there instead of Metcalf too, or just play both of them. I don't really like the tight ends, Disley and Everett. I just don't know why I don't like them. They just don't seem to be producing. I'll have them probably like in a couple of Wilson stacks. I'm gonna be playing so much Russell Wilson. And then on the other side's real interesting with Aaron Rodgers because obviously you got Devontae, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones's floor is 4 targets or 4 catches. So he'll be getting those from Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure. We talked about Mercedes Lewis a little bit. Then all their pass catchers have like a way to score touchdowns. Alan Lazard scored 2 in the last 2 weeks. Cobb can score touchdown. He was like one of those touchdown guys too. And then of course MVS coming back is the deep ball threat to catch a touchdown. So they're all viable plays with Aaron Rodgers. Makes me think I have to double stack him. I'm just not sure with who. Devontae will either be a lock or he'll be in 80 to 90% of my Aaron Rodgers stacks. And then I'll either be playing him with Aaron Jones or any of those other pass catchers. I know it's like a coin flip, but if I'm going to be playing that much Aaron Rodgers, which I plan to be, these things actually matter. One other piece of information I think is really important is Albert O, who may not be playing. And if he doesn't play this week, you have Noah Fant, who's already a good play at 4,400. But he's been playing. I think Albert O was out a week or two before in the season, and Fant played like 90% of the snaps. He's going to be playing that much again. And even though he came off the COVID list, he's going to have a week where he basically got a bye week. And so it's going to make him fresher. Seems like a really, really good tight end play. I think those are the big things. There's just tons of injury news to keep an eye on. Michael Gallup's coming back from IR. That's an interesting pivot play. Not many people are even going to be thinking about him. He just got activated today. So if you want to play, like, I don't plan to play Dallas Atlanta. I just don't feel like it's the right play. But I might want pieces, and if I want pieces, Gallup's an interesting play. Again, a pivot off like a James Washington if he's chalky. I think those are like the big pieces of information. Yep, that's all I had. I hope this information was helpful. Again, it was like a lot of spitfire, lots of little nuggets, but I hope some of these will like trigger you to think about how to potentially construct your lineups and maybe change some of the way you and I do things. So I hope this was helpful, and have a great rest of your day. Good luck tomorrow.